Good morning. Time for a garden tour a little later than I originally planned. It's June 26th. So we're going to show you guys some progress in the garden. We've got a wren in the background who's not exactly a happy camper, but we're going to pop through here anyway. So we've got our honeysuckle that's grown quite a bit since last time. We had some beautiful, beautiful blooms. I'm going to give you a nice little close-up here. So gorgeous. Hummingbirds just absolutely love this. Now last time we looked at our bed of radishes and we did a bunch of harvesting. So I've actually pulled all of those out now and planted in some bush beans, and we'll take a little bit of a close-up here. You can start to see that the bush beans are coming up. This whole bed will be full of beans. I've got some sunflowers planted in as well. My thyme needs a nice little clipping, but really excited. It's fun to do that succession planting. I've also potted up some flowers here since last time. Now you'll really see some changes here in this bed. So we've got a nice big sunflower, because why not? Basil I've actually harvested quite a few times already. I've made some basil tea, keeping it nice and bushy. A little quick tip: if you clip your basil right before the two little leaves, you can really bush out your entire plant. Now remember those tiny little peppers? They're not so tiny anymore. We got a little rain last night, which is wonderful and welcome. We've got some sweet bell red and some banana, and they've definitely put on some significant growth. You can even see we're starting to get little flowers. We've got peas coming up the background. They're a little confused. Our weather's been a little wonky this year, so I'm not sure if we're going to get a harvest, but they're doing pretty good. Can't wait for those to bloom. And look at Mr. Jasper. He has gotten quite tall. We've got lots of great little cherry tomatoes starting to form. Super happy and healthy. And you'll notice I've done a pretty aggressive pruning on the bottom of my tomatoes. That's to help prevent any fungal diseases, water splashing up on the leaves, things like that. Let's pop back to our back bed. Again, I've done some pretty significant trimming on my basil. We've got a nice little sunflower. My onions are coming along really nice. I'm growing these to bulb them out. And so we've got some good size, but I think I'm going to still wait a few more weeks prior to harvest. Checking up on the tomatoes, much larger than before. Again, done some aggressive pruning here. I've got Amish tomato. I've got a couple of guys there getting ready. This little Wisconsin 55, he's got a couple fruit. I've also then got our Burpee Big Boy, who also has some fruit, and our Atomic Grape, who's just absolutely exploded. And if we look back here, you can see we're starting to get those grape tomatoes as well. Now I've also added in some carrots. Carrots do really well when planted underneath tomatoes. It's called companion planting, so excited for those to pop up. If you remember, I did plant some turnips. Didn't get a lot of success, but I do have a couple here, and I'm really excited. It's my first time growing turnips, so we'll see how they bulb out and how they taste. Did a little expansion here. I'm actually going to create two berry beds. So the one on the right, I think, is going to be raspberries. The one on the left will be blueberries. Those are coming this week. That's the last addition, guys, that I'm making to this garden this year. Famous last words. All right, climbing up this trellis. The cucumbers are quite a bit further than last time. I actually had a small one I picked the other day. They're more for pickling, but you can see that we've got a lot of really great little flowers, and we're definitely starting to get some growth as well. You can see that they're starting to form. But these guys will definitely climb all the way up, so I'm pretty excited to watch them grow throughout the season. Right across from that, on the same arch, we've got our cantaloupe, and again, really great growth. Just starting to really take root. It's still early here in Wisconsin, so this will be fully leafed out later on in the year, but just a really good healthy start. Now you guys might remember that lettuce that's grown quite a bit. I've actually harvested about 4 or 5 heads already. Nothing better than grabbing one of these and making lunch. So I'll probably harvest the rest of these this week. They're fantastic. They can also be succession sown, so don't be afraid to throw in some seeds right after you harvest and harvest all year long. Acorn squash is really starting to explode. I've got some beautiful blooms in here, and I'm really excited to even have a little squash growing. So I would say the pollination is doing really well, and part of the reason is I do have a lot of flowers around my garden and in my yard. So a little tip, put in flowers in your garden, make it beautiful, and help those pollinators find your garden this summer. We've got some more tomatoes here. We've got the Jetstar bringing on a whole bunch of fruit. Again, our Wisconsin 55 as well. Carrots in between. I've got an early girl. She's getting quite large. And another Amish tomato. Again, all of these bearing some beautiful early fruit in the garden. Popping over here, we've got some sunflowers. The kohlrabi didn't quite work. It got a little too hot here too early, and that bolted. So we're just hanging on and waiting for these Brussels sprouts. We won't harvest these Brussels sprouts until actually after the first frost, but they will get quite tall. Now look at these strawberry towers. Boy, are they doing fantastic. And every single day I get up and I get fresh strawberries. Me and the birds, we fight daily, but I would say I probably get about 10 to 20 strawberries a day. I haven't been doing much with them, just eating them. This is the first year, so we'll see how they continue to bloom. I have a bunch of ever-bearing varieties that will bloom throughout the summer. And check these guys out, more peppers. So again, I got some Marconi peppers, jalapenos, and bells, and they're doing really well. I had a little bout with some curl leaf. Check this out. And now I think I've resolved that. And I found out that there's actually a calcium deficiency in this soil. So I do once a week when I water, we'll put in a CalMag organic nutrient. And as you can see, that has helped greatly. The leaves look fantastic. They've kind of gotten over that initial curl stage. More strawberries. These towers are really providing. It's a fun, great way to harvest. And for those individuals, there's Rusty making an appearance. For those individuals that maybe it's hard to get on the ground, this is a great alternative to gardening. Throw a couple of these on your back patio and you could enjoy, lettuce, strawberries, flowers, all just in a tower. And here we've got a little bit more Brussels sprouts. These guys are doing a little bit better than the ones in the back. They actually get a little bit more sun. So I think next year I'll probably relocate where I plant these to make sure that all of them get a little bit more sun. That one is a bit shaded in the afternoon. Well, that's been the garden tour. I hope you enjoy. It's been fun, a great adventure. Things are coming along nicely. I hope you guys have a great day.